This is KGW News at noon.
Well, it is a sunny Tuesday afternoon here in the Rose City. A few high clouds out there, but no hint of the snow that fell just over 12 hours ago. But guys, get ready. More snow could be on the way soon. Now, if you missed it last night, a lot was going on. First, though, let me tell you about this accident. One man living on Southeast Stark woke up to this. His entire house was shaking. His home was hit by a car. The driver told him he lost control on black ice. Thankfully, though, no one was hurt. KGW viewers also sending in pics. These are from Veronica Gaston. She lives in Grand Ronde. And this morning, it was a winter wonderland there. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. She even sent us a photo of a snowman. Right now, we want to bring in meteorologist Rod Hill. He's back in the Weather Center. So what about round two? What can we expect for tomorrow?
Well, let's talk about that. And if you don't know, if you're fairly new to the area, Grand Ronde is out in the Coast Range where they had upwards of 4 or even 5 inches of snow higher up in elevation over those high passes. We had about reports of an inch or maybe not quite that much up in the West Hills last night. But here we go for tomorrow morning. Now, this is 8:30 tomorrow morning. And I want to point out, you folks in Salem, you folks in Longview, and downtown Portland, confidence is growing this entire stretch along I-5. We'll either see a wet mix with above freezing temperatures or just flat out rain with above freezing temperatures. Now, with that said, let me zero in more on the Portland metro area. 11 o'clock tonight, cloudy skies. That's important. Because if the clouds thicken up as early as 11 o'clock tonight, whenever those clouds thicken up, that's going to more or less kind of lock the temperature. So if you're 36 degrees at your house tonight and it's solid overcast at 11, you may not get down to freezing. But if you're freezing at 11 o'clock tonight and the clouds set in, then you may wake up to some snow in the morning. So that's important to know. All right, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. This does grow confidence that the main Portland area will see just rain. And notice this, the blue is snow outside of Hillsborough in the Coast Range and around Sandy. So that's a snow level of about 1,000 feet. It's showing a mix or maybe some snow in the West Hills, but the latest modeling this morning really backing off on Metro Hills elevation, certainly below 1,000 feet. And then by noon, totally washes out anything in the West Hills to rain. Sandy starting to transition, but notice out here in the gorge, that's just all snow all day. And in fact, the Weather Service has put out a winter weather advisory starting tomorrow morning and going all the way into Thursday morning for snow in the Columbia River Gorge, where it could be 4 to as much as 8 inches fall out in the gorge. Metro Hills at 500 feet or above, will it be snow or rain? I really feel like that is a guessing game and it could go either way. As we pointed out, the snow level could end up being closer to 1,000 feet tomorrow. And then depending on how long you stay in the snow, you could get 6 inches, or if you pull out of it, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, start to warm up, maybe you only get a couple inches. There's the sunshine with the partly cloudy conditions and a temperature of 43 degrees right now. Your complete forecast is coming up.
Rob, thank you. Authorities haven't confirmed if this wreck was weather-related, but 2 kids in the car died. This happened in Clark County on Southeast Norse Road. The car hit a home, but no one inside was hurt. The children who died were on their way to school this morning. More than 100 people are still unaccounted for in Kentucky after deadly storms moved through that area over the weekend. So far, over 70 people are confirmed dead in that state alone. In total, more than 1,000 homes were destroyed or heavily damaged. Now, there's a massive effort underway to clean up what's left behind. That effort includes crews from right here in the Pacific Northwest, including the local chapter of the Red Cross, which already has more than 100 responders on the ground, with 7 more volunteers from the Cascade region on the way to help out. Chad Carter with the local Red Cross chapter says after so many people stepped up to help Oregon during last year's wildfires, the Oregon Red Cross crew wanted to repay the favor.
When a disaster strikes, it doesn't set a timeline. It doesn't matter that Christmas is a week and a half away. It doesn't matter that any of these things are going on. When a disaster strikes, we need people to be there to help those who have been impacted.
And we're going to try to hit those smaller areas on the outskirts that may not be getting as much press or as much help as they may need.
That was Mark Brooks, who runs the Cascade Relief Team. They've also gotten volunteers flying and driving to Kentucky. If you'd like to help the Red Cross or the Cascade Relief Team, you can make a donation on their websites. Well, health experts said it was only a matter of time until the Omicron variant showed up here in Oregon. And now OHA has confirmed 3 cases, all of which are in fully vaccinated adults. KGW's Alma McCarty has more.
We approach the end of 2021, our second year of battling COVID-19. Many of us were looking forward to ringing in 2022 with COVID-19 in the rearview mirror. Sadly, that is not the case.
Omicron variant COVID-19 now in Oregon, the newest addition to the list of states with confirmed cases. The samples tested and confirmed positive for the variant were from a Multnomah County resident in their 20s, a Washington County resident in their 20s, and another Washington County resident in their 30s. All 3 were fully vaccinated against the virus. According to OHA, 2 of the 3 had traveled internationally prior to the onset of symptoms. OHA hasn't revealed yet how serious the cases are or whether they had gotten the booster shot.
We recognize this news is frightening to many people. However, if history is our guide, we do know that even if a vaccine doesn't target a specific variant, the strong immune response you get from being fully vaccinated can still be highly protective against severe disease from all COVID variants.
Dr. Dean Seidlinger, health officer and state epidemiologist for Oregon, said his team is working to figure out 3 things about Omicron. Is it more transmissible? Does it cause more severe disease? And are the current vaccines and treatments still effective? Early studies show Omicron appears to be more contagious than even the Delta variant, but it is not causing more severe disease.
We've only been dealing with Omicron across the world over the last few weeks, and we still need more information to tell you definitively if Omicron causes more severe disease or not.
Dr. Seidlinger says boosters are proving effective in protecting people from severe disease and hospitalization. Once eligible, experts say getting your COVID booster is the best defense.
While we may not have been able to prevent the Omicron variant from reaching the state, by taking these steps, we can control how rapidly and widely it spreads in our communities.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Washington nurses are calling on the state to pass a law addressing the nursing shortage there. A collection of unions announced the launch of the Washington Safe and Healthy campaign. It asks lawmakers to pass a bill to remedy the nursing shortage before it gets any worse. The unions want a bill to address this crisis in 3 different ways: by instituting safe staffing standards, by enforcing existing laws on overtime, meal times and rest breaks, and by recruiting more workers.
Calling us heroes is not enough. It was never enough. It is time for the hospital executive to step up for the frontline workers who have sacrificed so much.
People are leaving because of the burnout and the stress, that those people aren't there for us. And then what that begins to do is trickle down into the patient's safety.
This bill is still in the draft stages and could be discussed as soon as January 10th, when the legislative session begins. Well, late last night, Oregon lawmakers wrapped up a special session. Their main goal, passing additional safety nets for tenants struggling to pay rent. Yesterday, lawmakers voted to give renters more breathing room. If tenants apply for assistance before the end of June 2022, they'd be protected from eviction until October 1st. Also approved $215 million for rent relief.
We need new money for the system. And otherwise, we will leave thousands of landlords and thousands of renters without protection and without being made whole. And I think it is a true emergency. I don't think it can wait till February.
This is a fix to get landlords paid who have been out of revenue for a long time. This doesn't going to fix the problem completely, but it's going to help them a lot. It moves it forward and it gives a chance for those who now can go back to work to be caught off and start afresh.
There was some pushback. Several conservative lawmakers raised concerns about whether people could abuse the program by not looking for work. But state officials told us the data shows most people applying for rent assistance are working, and they're trying to pay off the back rent they owe. We'll be right back.